Am I actually natural? Well, before we answer that, I want to tell you guys a rundown of my routine. So everything from my gym split to my routine with health and wellness, my fasting schedule, everything I do to look the way that I do, because it's a lot more complicated than you think. So first of all, I train 6 days a week. I train Monday through Saturday. Sunday is my one rest day of the week. And I have a split that I designed myself where I'm hitting every single muscle group twice a week. So Monday is a shoulder focused push day where I'll do mostly shoulders with a little bit of tricep and a little bit of chest. Tuesday is my back day with a little bit of bicep. Wednesday is my leg day. Thursday is my arm day. So that's supersets of biceps and triceps together. Friday is a chest focused push day. So it's like that Monday shoulder workout, but it's flipped. So it's mostly chest with like one or two shoulder movements. And then Saturday is a full body workout where I'm doing supersets of legs, back, and arms. I know that sounds crazy. It's a lot to keep track of, but the reason why I've structured it like that is because with those primary focus workouts, I get to really do a lot of hypertrophy damage to my muscles. And then when I touch them again for the second time of the week, I get some active recovery, blood flow. It helps with the recovery for the muscles when I do a little bit of like lighter volume, lighter sets as the secondary muscle for that workout. So that's my workout schedule. Training 6 times a week. I've been following this program for 5 or 6 years, a very long time, out of my 11 years of total lifting. Now, next, my lifestyle. So outside of the gym, because my workouts are at least an hour and a half long each, outside of that, my diet is very clean overall. I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting, and I've been fasting myself for many, many years. Intermittent fasting, if you guys don't know, it's where you restrict your calories for a significant amount of time of the day. So instead of eating 3 or 4 meals a day, breakfast right when you wake up, that kind of a thing, you have a window of when you can eat. Now, the exact time of your window doesn't really matter, but it's a restricted window. So a lot of people will do a 16-8. So it's a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. And in that eating window, you can have food, but you don't want to have anything outside of your window. That's what intermittent fasting is. Now, you can adjust that window in the schedule to whatever you want, but generally, the more you can compress your eating window to 6 hours, 4 hours, or even like one meal a day, you generally get better results and benefits from fasting itself. So I'm a huge fan of fasting. I've been doing it for many, many years. I don't do it every single day. Actually, I do it every single day. I can't tell you the last time I had breakfast. What I meant to say was I don't do a tiny window every single day. Some days I'll have like a light lunch and then a big dinner after the gym. Now, so about half the week, I would say it's like an 18-hour fast where I'm only eating for about 6 hours a day. And then the other half of the week, I'm doing one meal a day. I'm not kidding. So it's one meal a day. I fast all day, no food. And then I have one big meal after my workout at nighttime. And you can have water, by the way. You can have water, you can have black coffee, you can have tea, things like that, but no sugar, no creamer in your coffee, nothing that has calories or substance. That's what's going to break your fast. So I fast every single day. Like I said, I can't tell you the last time I had breakfast or anything really before like noon, before 1 p.m. And on top of that, I steam in sauna multiple times a week. I used to do it every single day because I went to a different gym, but now I go to a different gym where they don't have that. So I'm only popping into my steam and sauna 3 or 4 times a week. So I do a few rounds of steam and sauna. I'm fasting. I'm working out 6 times a week. I take really good care of my body, guys. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do any drugs. I don't take anything. So that is a glimpse of my lifestyle, of everything it takes for me to look the way that I look currently. It's summertime right now. I am staying a little bit leaner for summer, so I'm even more cautious of my diet. But overall, I'm still fasting every single day. I'm working out 6 times a week, steam and sauna. All of it checks out. So that being said, the answer is yes, I am natural. I've been working out for 11 years. I didn't always look like this. And there's phases where I've gone through bulks and subsequent cuts. And during the bulks, I get heavy and fat. I've been up to 250 pounds at the peak of one of my bulks. And right now I'm about 215. So that's just the process. It's what you got to do to build muscle naturally. Now, I know a lot of people on the internet, don't think a physique like mine is attainable naturally. And I take that as a compliment. I mean, anytime somebody really like, questions me or even asks if I am natural, I take it as a positive. It just tells me like, you think my physique is so unattainable that it must be fake. And for me, it's flattering. So I never get upset if anybody thinks I'm taking something or accuses me of not being natural, because when you actually break it down and analyze the lifestyle of everything I just described, my training regimen, my diet, my lifestyle routine of like fasting and sauna, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And I guarantee you guys that if you gave somebody my body, like if you just took them from an average body and plopped them into my body, they wouldn't be able to maintain it. They'd lose it after a couple weeks, because it takes so much maintenance for me to be able to look the way that I do, that's why it's really hard for me to do it naturally. Now, if you're taking stuff, that's obviously going to help you out and make it easier, but I really value my health. I always have, and I'm very proud of that. And when you're taking anything for a bodybuilding show or whatever, you compromise your long-term health for short-term results. I never wanted to make that compromise, because I'm always thinking of myself in the future, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. So yeah, that's the answer. I'm a natural. I've never taken anything. I've never taken testosterone, any other steroids, no SARMs, no peptides, nothing like that. I really don't even know too much about them. Sometimes people have come up and asked me for advice on things like that. And I'm like, hey, honestly, I'm not the right guy to talk to when it comes to those things. So yeah, I think natural is the way to do it. Now, unless you're making money from your body, like you're a professional bodybuilder and you have all these sponsors and your main source of income is winning shows, I would highly recommend the average person to stay natural. Just do it the right way. And plus, even if you are taking something, it doesn't compensate for a shitty diet and a bad workout routine. So you need to have those fundamental things established. You need to know what you're doing with your food. You need to know what you're doing with your workouts in order to get any kind of results, regardless of if you're natural or not. But yeah, I would highly recommend people stay natural. When you're really thinking about long-term health, it's the best move. So that's the answer. I'm a lifetime natural. I have no plans of taking anything. I'm also not a bodybuilder. I don't compete in shows. I never have. It's just my heart's not really in it. So that was also why I'm not really trying to push my body to these extreme limits just to win a show. I'm really happy with the way I look. And it's taken over a decade for me to get to where I am. But it was absolutely worth it.